You alright? YorkshireASMR here. I understand that I have not made a video in a good long while. And through being prompted, here I am making a video. And the setting for this video is Red Dead Redemption 2. This game is partner. This game is very dear to me. I played Red Dead Redemption 1 years and years ago now on Xbox 360. And I remember it was one of the first games where I got kind of swept up in the marketing for it. I remember there were some trailers and I used to watch them like somewhat repeatedly, just getting excited about everything I could do in the game. And I played it through to completion, which is a bit of a rarity for me, unfortunately. I don't have a great track record of completing games. Some folks here with a camp. I daren't go there in case I aggravate them. But I finished it, and I also got the DLC for it called Undead Nightmare, which this is on the tie-in that zombies were really popular. I think The Walking Dead was still in its heyday. There were several other like franchises. The zombies were like the in thing. And Undead Nightmare was a western zombie apocalypse. It had a bit more of a demonic kind of devilry to it, but it was really well done. And the story, it had like its own like storyline. The story was pretty engrossing too. There's a train going by. God, this game is so beautiful. Anyway, so Red Dead Redemption 1, played it loads, loved it. And I played the online for it a lot too. Granted, back then the Rockstar online games were a bit more classical in their design. It was just ranks and levels, unlocking things and getting prestige, stuff like that. And I remember playing it just to find the fun. You just do silly things. Anyway, so 2018, Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming out. At the time, I just had a piddly gaming laptop, nothing really suitable to handle this incoming game. But having saved up a bit of money with the job I'd gotten, I was rethinking, okay, I've got to see how I can best approach this, because this is a game I want to play on launch. Okay, there's a cut there because I got attacked by wolves, and while the wolves themselves didn't kill me, falling down that little cliff there definitely did. So you know what? Let's set up camp and rest until the morning. God, how cute is that? So yeah, I had no way of playing Red Dead, and so I went all out. I bought a PS4 Pro, I guess, at the time. It was pretty late in the console's life cycle, and we got a new TV because our TV was pretty old at the time. And yeah, I had everything kind of set up and ready to go. I even pre-ordered it, which I don't often do with games. Let's put our camp up. Wow, look at that sunrise. God, this game is so pretty. And then the day of release, I stayed up until midnight and I played it for like 3 or 4 hours. Now, when I was a teen, around the time that I was getting into the original Red Dead, I'd watched a load of spaghetti westerns. I had seen some other westerns before that. My mom was a big fan of like the John Wayne kind of western films, and like I didn't like them. I always kind of left the room or whatever, or if I watched with like passive interest. They never really held my attention. They were kind of hokey and cheesy. But the spaghetti westerns, I illegally acquired some movie files, and then I later did buy like DVDs. I just really liked them. Sergio Leone films in particular. Once Upon a Time in the West is probably my favorite western, but The Good and the Bad and the Ugly is a close second. I don't think that's controversial. I think most people really enjoy those two. So, I wouldn't say I'm a huge western buff, but I definitely admired the setting. So at midnight on release night, I had it all downloaded, started up playing. That guy has his revolver out. It looked like he did. I don't want no trouble. And yeah, I started playing for a few hours, and over the course of the next month or more, I completed the game. And I didn't 100% it like I did with Red Dead 1, just because this game was so much bigger. And I didn't feel the same drive like I did to like finish it. I just enjoyed existing in this world. Very early on in the game, I finished the prologue, unlocked the open kind of world stuff, like I have here on this PC save, and I just went wandering. I went hunting, I robbed some folks, I just kind of existed. And at one point, one of the camp members, like one of the members of your group, found me in the wild and said, "Hey, we haven't seen you in a while, are you okay?" And I had to kind of like just put my controller down and be like, wow, that's such a cool little detail. I had just come from hiding out in like the snowy region, which is quite unpopulated. I'd hidden there because a bunch of bounty hunters were following me. Even though I could have fought them, I decided to make a run for it. And so I spent like in-game 2 nights just camping and hunting in the snow. And as I came down from it, the snow was kind of like melting away on the roadside. And I forget which member it was. It might have been John Marston. Yeah, he was just there waiting and said, "Yeah, we've been looking for you." So this game just really sucked me in. I was a huge fan of the setting. And then, I don't know, months after the release, they released the online mode. And it was supposedly going to be much more like the GTA Online for GTA 5, which I played a bit of. Not a load of, just a bit of. I tried it for a little bit, and I don't know, it didn't really keep my attention. I also only had like a trial of PS Online. I wasn't really interested in becoming a subscriber. And then years later, I had gotten myself a gaming PC, and they released Red Dead on PC, and I thought, well, that's cool, but I've already played it, I don't need it again. And I see as time goes by, there are servers set up with modded Red Dead Redemption 2. And if you know Jubilee Whispers, she loves modded Skyrim. And a part of me was tempted to get it and dive into the mods. But honestly, I just enjoyed the vanilla so much that I was just like, man, it's just a lot of hassle. Oh no, no more wolves. Okay, they're over there. Is it geezers or geysers? I feel like I want to say geezers. Geezer. We saw some geezers in Iceland. Beautiful. Really fascinating to watch. Anyway. Modded Red Dead. But it was on online servers. So they were altering the online architecture of a shared server. And so it wasn't like Red Dead Online. Not anymore. And then I started to see there were roleplay servers. Now I love a bit of roleplay. I'll admit that I am nerdy enough to be into that sort of thing. I run tabletop role-playing games. I've participated in other roleplay servers before. Nothing too intense though. Like, oh, I can't even think of them now. Little things. Like play by post, if you're familiar with that, where you like text. A long time ago I played Lord of the Rings online. Not for very long, but very briefly. And after I felt like I'd gotten enough out of the game, I was playing a dwarf from the Blue Mountains. I thought to myself, oh, well, I guess as a send-off, I'll try and travel to Rivendell in the game. And I was on one of the roleplay servers. It was like nothing too intense. You just tried to help the immersion a little bit, and a human and an elf player, I'd met them on the road, and they'd helped me because I'd wandered into like a higher level than was appropriate for me. And they helped guide me to Rivendell. Sadly, I don't remember the names, their characters' names, but it was such a, I don't know, a sweet little emergent moment that I really appreciated. And then I made it to Rivendell, and I kind of smiled at everything, and I thought, yeah, I've got my worth out of this game, so I uninstalled or whatever, and I've never played it ever since. But it was such a neat moment that I felt like Red Dead RP. Now that is something I could sink my teeth into. I'd seen the GTA RP service, mainly like NoPixel. It's probably the most famous one, and it seemed a little sillier than what I was hoping for. Not that that's bad. I mean, there's definitely a level of seriousness that I'm not interested in. Isn't this area so lovely? Hey, look, a canoe. I wonder, can I get out my... Do I even have binoculars? I don't remember. Oh, there they are. I don't know where the owner is. That's okay. So I was like, okay, well, that's cool that they've done that. I still don't own the game on PC. Maybe if the game goes on sale, I'll think about it. And some more time passes, like another year or so, and Red Dead goes on like a deep sale. So I pick it up on PC, and I knew someone in one of the bigger servers. So I asked him, how it was over there and how they were doing, and he said, yeah, just, put in an application, try it out. So I did, and I felt very cringy, pretending to be someone in like a voice call. But then when I got into the game, I played it very safe at first. I made a very boring character, and one night at like 2 a.m, my character had been involved in a bank job that resulted in a shootout at the sheriff's department. And I just thought, well, not only... Oh. I feel bad, but I'm going to ignore the person crying for help. That's really loud. Just moving on. So yeah, this boring character after this big old shootout, I just let him die. I thought I'd start over. And my second character I played for like over a year. I even got in the sheriff's department and played with the law team. Playing with these people like, a few times a week was really enjoyable. I would put on an American accent. I wouldn't say it was a good one, but it wasn't terrible. So I existed in this world even longer. I basically had a second version of Red Dead 2 to grow attached to. I played as Arthur Morgan, John Marston, and then my characters in this RP server. And it wasn't always serious. We had silly goofs and a lot of laughs and inside jokes. And we had stressful moments, shootouts and people letting their characters die. It could be tense. I think it was like a good balance of silly fun and immersiveness. And so I got very familiar playing this game on PC, specifically on this mod. And what that means is that not all of the keybinds correlate to the single player or the base game. For example, you would have your revolver on key 1. That's the same. But key... see, it's switched then because you can have 2. But key 2, which I'm pressing is doing nothing, would be your rifle, and key 3 would be your knife, and key 4 I think would be like a throwable, and key 5, maybe I'm mixing up. It's been a while since I played the mod. Whoops, don't need that. I don't need that either. Let's put that away. But yeah, playing the game again on this RP server, I saw even more of this world that I had fallen in love with. Particularly chasing criminals. They would find interesting little spots to hole up in. But this is the Grizzlies. I think it's technically the Grizzlies East. Oh Jesus. Slow down, fella. I think he was chased by something. I know that Red Dead's map is kind of like half a dozen or more biomes condensed into much smaller areas to emulate the vast differences in America's landscape. I don't know what the Grizzlies Space stuff? If I had to guess, maybe the Rockies. Just don't quote me on that. Wow, this is a busier road. Busier than I thought it would be.
Oh, I know.
Howdy, brother.
Damn heat rash is killing me.
But yeah, you learn so much more about the game in terms of its geography. And seeing the inventiveness, wow, which people take their characters was so entertaining. Because you kind of think, oh, well, if it's a western, then you've got the robbers, you've got the deputies. But there's so many people who found, oh dear, I don't want to look. I think I run over a small critter. I don't see it, so I'm just going to move on. But these people, they found fun and life and doing non-violent things. They would pretend to run ranches, they would create these businesses, they would put on shows. We even had a play in the game world that was a reference to a storyline ongoing between a big criminal and some of the law department who were heavily involved in trying to capture him. It's just kind of stuff like that that makes you appreciate how invested these people were. I don't think I was by any means a great role player. I don't think I was bad. Just I was there, not just a storyteller, but you know, a listener too. These fields so pretty. Where I grew up, there was a little forest, like a village over, and we went on a walk there once. Took the family dog, and after passing through the trees, we came across this like large clearing. Tall grass just like this. And ringed all around the edges, there were bluebells. I don't know if you can get bluebells in America, but it's a time of the year thing in England. It's very spring. Very spring symbol. And they're beautiful flowers. I just remember walking through the tall grass and happening upon them right at the edge of the clearing. But yeah, between playing the base game and playing online, I've had so many stories and encounters across so much of this map. I know there's been talk lately that Red Dead 1 will be getting a remake. Not a remaster, but a remake. And if it looks anywhere near half as good as this, I'll probably have to check it out. There's so many little details and intricacies to Red Dead that you can easily overlook. It was definitely my game of that year. I know it wasn't for everyone. The locomotion system that Rockstar uses in their engines can be frustrating, as you are, well, you are kind of a locomotive on legs. You can't stop on a dime and twist around. You have to wait for your character to do the things you want to do. You're a Ramble. Yeah.
Yeah, you alright there, boy?
Let's see. I'll get back into playing Red Dead Online, probably. Even if just a little bit. I had like played so much that, well, some other things happened in life and I just couldn't dedicate the time to it. But I think this might be one of my like favorite game worlds, even if it is so contemporary. Well, historically contemporary, not quite fantastical.
Now I am a prisoner in the Stillwater jail I lie. California miner, who unto us befell.
Arthur just humming a tune.
This is always way, for which I will be sorry until my dying day.
But yeah, one thing I really appreciate about the game, and it's something that I'm starting to become much more, I guess, appreciative of in general. It's a aspect to game design that it's hard to pull off, but when done well, is so endearing to me, is the idea of an emergent narrative. I'm not saying that the whole storyline needs to be laid out this way, but the idea that you play a game and you find the fun in unexpected ways. Whether that's playing an MMO and two random players joining you on a quest that you just made for yourself. Whether that's playing a single player game where you disappear for a few days and the NPCs take notice, or you play online and the game evolves, the stories evolve around you. This dynamic nature makes you feel like you're not in a world that's necessarily designed for you, if that makes sense. Too often you play a game with a mini-map and there's a big shiny beacon that says, hey, this person stood right here, they have a quest for you, and they'll wait here for you until it's done. And it works. It's a solid approach to get players invested. I mean, Red Dead is not
Good work, pal.
innocent of that either. It also makes use of this flow. But I found that the memories of this game that stuck with me the longest were the ones where there wasn't a quest marker, where I just stumbled something a little different. I have one harrowing memory of playing as a bad Arthur, and I stumbled into some remote home deep in the swamp, and I was immediately accosted by the owners of this home, and they were armed, and meaning to or not, I disarmed them, but in the process I accidentally took their hand off too. This is a cute little watchtower. It's a nice leather jacket. What's the view like? So the dad, whoops, let's put that away. The dad tried to shoot me. I shot the gun from his hand, but I took the hand with him. And then his son was like begging for mercy, and I felt awful. I felt truly awful. I definitely don't like hurting people, even if they're digital creations. Oh, you see that? It's cool. Oh, sorry if you heard that. That was my jaw clicking. I've been having some jaw issues as of late, which is another reason I haven't really striven to make videos or played this online, because too much talking can aggravate it. But yeah, me robbing this house, I felt really bad, and it was clearly a created scenario. I mean, they had voice lines specific to this location. There was items you can stumble across inside that were like notes and whatnot of how this father and son's relationship. So 3 riders coming in, or 2 trying to overtake a third? They're coming in fast. See, if this was online, I would be a little worried. Do they have their weapons out? No, I think they're trying to overtake, but staying together. I can't tell. They could be bounty hunters. But yeah, I finished this like robbery, and I felt really, it stuck with me afterwards. And there were plenty of moments like that I had playing this online group. It's a much calmer world than its sibling online game like in GTA. Just kind of getting to sit in the countryside, safe in your home. But I guess some of the films I watched growing up, they inspired this appreciation for the beauty in the American landscapes, and I would love to see more of it in real life. It's just finding the time and having the money. Damn, look how good his like beard and skin looks. I'm playing on Julie Whispers' PC, so this is way, way better than anything I've been used to. I played on a PS5 and then I played on my PC, which was showing her age. But some of the details on like the fur right in the ring of his neck, that fur collar, it's so cool. And the leather on the hat. Okay, I was told when making this video that I should try and utilize the binaural aspects of these microphones, and I mostly forgot, so I apologize for that. But I hope you appreciated just kind of a rambling ride into Red Dead Redemption. I hope you are relaxed or otherwise in a chill mood after listening to me. And I will wish you a good morning, a good afternoon, or a good night, wherever you may be. And if you haven't tried out Red Dead, I would recommend at least giving the story a go. It is a slog to get through, yeah, but I would say it's worth it. Prior to playing Red Dead, I thought there's no way that this new character, Arthur Morgan, would ever live up to John Marston, the protagonist of Red Dead 1. But after finishing this, yes, Arthur Morgan is the superior. There are so many trains. That was 2 trains after one another, right? Like, I'm not crazy. Okay, well, I will leave you and bid you adieu.